All right, everybody. Welcome back to Chess with Patrick. Today marks the 1000th game on the Chess with Patrick journey, where I play a game of chess every day. I put a video of me playing chess on YouTube every single day, and I track my progress on chess.com. In today's video, before I air today's game, I'm going to chat a little bit on a few topics. Achievements I've made over the last 1,000 games, some chess principles that I've learned that I try to stick to, reasons for my recent surge in ELO, and some reflections on chess players in general and in the comments section, and just guidance on where the channel goes from here. I don't expect this video to be edited in crazy ways. I'm just going to talk to it. So apologies for the lack of investment on the editing side. If you've been following the journey as of late, you'll know that the last couple of games, my editing skills have been subpar anyways. So I'll probably spare you the errors. So first off, achievements. Very proud of the fact that I've managed to stick it out this long. I do remember in probably the summer of 2024 or 2025, I was thinking of quitting. I was kind of down in the dumps with a losing streak, but I kept going, and I believe, unless somebody can point me to another YouTuber, I think I had the longest running count of daily videos on YouTube for chess that I'm aware of. I know I've inspired countless others to start their own journey. There's been a number of folks who have commented in the section below on their own journey and that they started, and it's been actually really fun to kind of check out their channels and see where they start and how they're going, and I'm thinking this could be a thing. Also, I've played a national master. I played Chess Vibes, also known as Nelson Lopez. So to play an actual chess master just by means of putting myself out there was very humbling. And, you know, even though he took me to the cleaners, I felt like I held my own in that game. And yeah, I met another very kind and generous YouTuber. I had coaching sessions with a woman grandmaster, TC Agara. I had a couple of recorded sessions with her. I really tried to promote her lessons and her website to basically return the favor, to see if there's some kind of synergy in terms of she helps me learn chess and I drive attendance to her website for some lessons. I don't think that the traction was there to really have that symbiotic relationship. But it was great meeting Ticia, and I really want to keep that door open to see what additional content we can produce together, and see if we can help drive some traffic to her lessons, because she's a fantastic educator and teacher. I started a Discord. Right when I started this journey, it was great connecting with all the folks kind of starting with me on day one of this journey. I have since left the Discord and kind of pop in every now and again just to say hi. And so I think I'm most proud of being able to do this while not sacrificing time with my family and other things that I do prioritize over a simple game of chess. And to that end, I think people appreciate the authenticity and the genuine nature of my content. And, you know, now more than ever, you know, I pre-recorded a bunch of games over the holidays, and now I'm more current than I ever have been. But man, it seems like the entire world has changed since I pre-recorded all that backlog of videos that I've been trickling out. So In a world that's becoming increasingly tense and politically charged, I think there's going to be a market for 15 to 20 minutes of chess where you can escape some of the challenges that humanity is facing these days. And to that end, I've gained almost 12,000 subscribers over the last 1,000 days, 2.7 million views of my videos, and have managed to actually make a few dollars along the way. Not a lot, nothing to really write home about, but it's fun to see that some people can get some supplemental funds from doing something they're passionate about and rallying others to do the same. Moving on to the principles that I've learned, and I'm going to be creating a Reddit post here to summarize all these things too. So I'd love to see some thoughts and comments, or maybe I'll make it an Ask Me Anything if there's anything that I didn't cover. But I'm just going to rattle off the big highlights that I've seen kind of show up in the comment section time and time again. And if I missed any, I apologize. But to those of you who have consistently provided feedback, some of you have been watching since the very beginning. Some of you were very involved in the beginning, went off and did other things, and now are coming back and are surprised with some of the success that I'm having, which is really nice to see. But in general, I think openings, I've just really stuck with a couple openings and general principles of those openings. I did learn the traps for those openings on the defending side, so I know not to fall for certain traps. Now, there's always some edge cases, and if I fall for another trap in the future, don't go back and hold this video against me, because I am prone to mistakes. But I think in general, I know what to look out for. I know to get the center with 2 pawns if they let me. I know to develop and defend knights before bishops and getting the bishop outside the pawn chain. And I know not to move the same piece twice during the opening. And I know not to start attacking before all the pieces are developed. The premature attaculation, I think a couple of users have pointed out that I tend to fall victim to. Castle quickly, obviously. King safety should be a priority. I like to get the queen off the back rank and connect the rooks, move the rooks to the open files, and then improve pieces, keeping in mind some principles such as knights on the rim are grim, don't create doubled pawns, keep an eye on the backward pawns. And lately, I'm starting to really keep in mind pawn structure as you head into the end game. I think the earlier you can kind of envision what the pawn end games look like, the better chance I will have of success in the end games. End games are a completely different topic that I'll touch on here in a little bit. But I know, I've had some coaching sessions with a subscriber by the name of Dennis, and he's always reminding me to take all the information in, have X-ray vision, even though a piece is, blocking another piece. You have to kind of see what happens if this piece moves. What does the board look like? And those are things that I think I'm starting to get the hang of a little bit more. He also said that if the other side has not developed as quickly as I have, then opening up the board will yield benefits because my pieces are more active and I can cover more of the squares. So general principles like this, I think I've starting to grasp. I know now not to really trade bishops for knights when I did that pretty consistently. I know now not to trade 2 pieces for a rook or a rook and a pawn. There's some edge cases, obviously, and exceptions do make that okay, but in general. And I also know that when I'm ahead, I should trade off pieces. and in the end game, activate the king and get it to the center of the board. So those general principles, I feel like I've got a good handle on. Again, you can probably go back to a game in the not so recent past where I violated what I just said, but in general, I like to think that I am starting to get the handle on that. And I've been kind of floating around between 1300 and 1500 up until probably 3 or 4 months ago. And then I really saw a spike in my ELO. And so now I'm just going to touch on some of the reasons why I think that is the case. First off, I think it's moving to the new time control of 10-minute, 0-second increment variant. I think because that is the default time constraint on chess.com for Rapid, it's easier for folks to just push the button and play a game with those time constraints. And so I think I'm being matched up to folks who they might think they have time, and so they push the button and play a game, and either they don't have their full attention on the game, or there's something that might interrupt them. I think that the likelihood of that is happening. But it's also forcing me to think faster, which in theory, I like to think it is helping with my time management issues, but the jury's still out on whether that is the case because I'm still suffering. So again, more on that later. I hate to say this, but I also think it's less time for opponents to cheat. Sounds like cheating in chess is a thing. I've been awarded ELO due to my opponents violating fair play. And that's just one thing that I knew when I started this journey. I would resist all and any temptation to ever cheat during this game, just because of the authenticity piece and being able to really stay true to an honest game where, yeah, I'm behind a screen, I'm not over the board. There are technologies out there that, could enable me to get to 2000 a lot quicker than I would like, or than is happening. But I'm opting to just take the honest route. And I think there's some nobility in that, and also some hardships, because I have to expose all the weakness and all the failures and everything that goes along with that. So I think the time control, it has helped with the surge. I do think I've finally mastered openings. I can breeze through most variations. Some edge cases still exist, as mentioned, but I think I can get through the first 10 moves without blundering pretty consistently, which helps my time management, and it actually frees up my thoughts to focus on the things that my coaches have taught me. Now, likelihood of me going too fast and actually blundering because of that confidence, it could be false confidence, that's still there, and that's still something that I'll have to handle. But I now think that I'm developing before I'm attacking. I'm noticing that I'm more likely to consider pawn structures, as mentioned. I actually, over the last 3-4 months, I've actually had more time to dedicate to the game of chess. Another fun thing about this channel is it has allowed me to just share with others some other passions of mine. So sprinkled along the way, you'll see little bits of my personality kind of come into focus by means of me playing musical instruments. I've got a couple videos where I've performed at some parties and for my 40th birthday, and any videos that were taken of me that I just kind of shared with the crowd here. It's always really heartwarming to see the comments where people say that they enjoyed a specific song, and I see those comments and I go into the video to see what song did I actually put as the background for this one video, and it turns out to be a song that I composed and performed and recorded and put as the background. So it's this platform has allowed me to dabble in just expression in general, and again, harping on the themes of authenticity, creativity, and humility. I think those three things are ingredients to having a successful YouTube channel. The jury's still out on whether this will be a huge channel, but the chart up and to the right of subscriber growth is pretty consistent. So more time dedicated to playing chess now that my 40th birthday is out of the way. I've kind of stopped practicing certain songs every night because I don't have this performance that I'm getting ready. I also think of more disciplined life routine. I've started playing at a more consistent time of day. Specifically early mornings, after a workout, after a healthy breakfast. I'm pretty regimented. I have a pretty rigid regiment. Man, I gotta bring out a thesaurus next time I do a video, because I gotta make sure I'm choosing the right words. But I think the more consistently I'm going to bed at a good hour, waking up early, exercising, eating healthy, handling my to-do lists, focusing on work when I need to focus on work, leaving the creative time to do creative things. All of these things allow for laser focus, or hopefully laser focus 15 to 20 minutes when I do the game. But in addition to that, pre-recording the games, again, during the holidays, I really didn't want to be in a position to have to leave my family to go to a quiet place just to record a game, especially around the holidays where if we're going up to the mountains and the internet might be slower, or I wanted to keep the streak alive. And I think that's, in the scheme of life and in the world, I like the idea of just the consistency being a part of my life as the main focus of this channel. And how long it takes me to get to 2,000 ELO, I mean, that's up to you as to how long you want to follow along. But I didn't want to break the streak. And so I did pre-record a bunch of games, and that alone in itself removed an element of chaos and hecticness. Hecticness? Where's that thesaurus? In the sense where there were some days where I knew I didn't have a video already recorded for the following day. I sat down to play a game, and then all of a sudden an urgent work thing happened and I needed to shift gears and focus. So then it was like, okay, focus on the work thing and sneak in a game when I had a break, or during lunch, or something along those lines. And that dynamic probably forced me to bring in other thoughts into the game, other distractions, where when I pre-recorded and I had a backlog, if something like that came up, I didn't feel pressure to record that same day or even that same, couple of days. I could wait until the moment was right to have that element of focus. And I think that really helped. And I have to do this. I have to I have to get Emma. I have to get Emma on day 1000 because she's probably been the most consistent part of this journey. She's always in the house when I play a game. She'll always bark at trucks that drive by. And talking about 1000, she is batting 1000 when it comes to protecting this house from the evil Amazon drivers of the world. Not one single UPS, FedEx, Amazon, United States Postal Service man has ever broken into our house and attacked our family because of this dog. They've come close. They've come all the way up to the porch and have even dropped off a brown box. But this beast right here, let's get it close up. She won't let it happen. She won't let it happen. Oh, on another topic, where do we go from here? From the chess principles side, time management, I think just continuing to play, the time management piece will come. Endgames. I think I'm finally at a point now where I can get through the openings. I have a decent sense of middle game tactics, improving pieces, and not necessarily trying to do like the crazy moves. But endgames are still an area where I lack, and I think now I'm at a point where I can focus on those. As far as the channel, look, I've got so many ideas. Like, it would be so cool to like take this and run with it and build, some ideas I've had are, engaging with every other chess tuber who started their journey and create like a bracket and a tournament and follow everybody on their journey, reporting the statuses of everybody, because I think the personalities of each chess tuber are really what could bring chess into a new light. It's almost like the professional league and the amateur league. Like, well, if folks can, and like the Savannah Bananas or some entertainment value, it doesn't have to be like the best chess, but if you like the people, the personality, and it's entertaining, I think there's a market there. Some people have probably certain opinions on that, but hardcore baseball fans probably have a similar philosophy on, Savannah Bananas, and then also like the Harlem Globetrotters. They don't think it's real basketball, but whether or not it's entertaining, I think there's something there. I also have reserved the domain chesswithpatrick.com, and so I'll be probably keeping everybody updated on that website as this community grows and their opportunities present themselves. I think maybe a newsletter or some kind of blog to keep everybody updated with what's going on. And then I think, I don't know, it'd be really cool to start doing over the board stuff. I have even had grandiose plans of maybe enabling those chess tubers, if we can identify where they are locally, maybe partner with a coffee shop, i.e. Pete's or Starbucks, to host a game, track the progress, have the competition, and then get sponsored by a major coffee brand where, like Starbucks business model right now is they're wanting people to stay in their stores. They want people to hang out in their stores. And so what positive, like, I don't know how to frame it. What activity would be better than seeing, a couple of folks playing chess in a coffee shop, and to have a tournament style league set up? I don't know. yeah, so, I've got all these ideas. Again, it's just similar to the Discord. I set it out with pure intentions of engaging with the community and getting to know everybody and making a bunch of friends. It's just, it's hard to do. And I'm the personality that if I feel like I'm letting people down or not engaging with people when they as frequently as they want, then that kind of gets into my psyche. I feel like I'm not enough, and so I had to cut that out. But who knows what the future holds? And speaking about commenters, there's been some positive comments. There's been some negative comments. I just found a section in YouTube Studio where I can see comments that have been automatically blocked, and some of you out there have some filthy language to describe my chess or describe me personally. I thought I saw the criticism and I was interpreting that as negative, but boy, y'all are filthy sometimes. And YouTube automatically blocks those derogatory or inflammatory or racist or what have you. But I also see a lot of comments that make generalizations. Generalizations for maybe the country that I live in or the state that I live in. They see certain behavior and go down the path of, I'm dishonest. An example being when I say I play a game of chess every day and I put it on YouTube for folks to watch, people say, well, I looked at your chess.com profile. You haven't played a game of chess in, 2 months. Well, I have a chess up board over here. I got it for Christmas. And I play that every day. So am I lying when I say I play a game of chess every day? Even though I don't post every game I play? I don't know. There's subtle nuances where if you want to find my exact words and twist them to try and show that I'm dishonest, okay, do it, fine. I can take it. But I hope the lion's share of folks out there know my intention is pure and I just want to learn this game and, have a fun experience while doing so. But then there's also the folks who, there's some folks who are going through and watching and rewatching every single video from day one, and they're commenting along the way. And it's just an honor to know that people have decided to spend their precious time watching my videos, because I know how time is such a commodity, and in this world where your attention is split between so many different things, it really is humbling to know that you've decided to spend a fraction of that attention throughout the day with me. One last thing, and this is where, if you want to fast forward and not hear me on my soapbox, go ahead. But over the last, 3 years, I've seen some things just in the world that I think are worth calling out. It's hard to deny the advancements in technology and AI. I do work in high tech, and so I do have a perspective on technology and artificial intelligence. And I always take the approach of technology is as good as the people behind it. Splitting atoms is very fascinating technology, but you get somebody with bad intentions and splitting atoms could be a really destructive thing. So whether or not AI is good or bad, I think is still to be seen. But I do know, I am witnessing just how the polarization of the United States has transpired over the last decade. And now when social media started kind of fueling that, right? It's the algorithm of this person is more likely to engage with this content if it says this. And so folks are kind of being fed content that drives engagement, and you're more likely to engage if you get the feelings of aggression and negativity, right? That draws the people in. And so I think the social media aspect has created this divide and this polarization. But now with AI, you have the automation of that, which is fascinating to watch. So I can, go on a social media platform and I can see a piece of content that that leans one way or the other in terms of, political viewpoints. And then I look at some of the comments on that and I see people either agreeing wholeheartedly or disagreeing wholeheartedly, and they're using, words to put down the other person. But then I click on the profiles of those people and I see they have maybe 20 connections, and every one of their posts seems political, and it's apparent that it's a bot. And so we have this already polarized dynamic. Social media kind of fed us to kind of go down this path of believing certain things, and now AI is generating the content almost on an automatic basis to further that. And so with the activities in Minnesota this past week, I think it's an interesting time to be alive, and I don't know what else to say about it. I just want people to know that, I hope everyone is being safe, and I hope that we resort back at some point to treat people with kindness. I think that's just something that I firmly believe in. Just be kind and treat others with respect. Wow, I've been jabbering on for how long now? Actually, wasn't expecting to talk this long, but here we are, day 1000. So I'll summarize everything I said in in a Reddit post, and I'll look for y'all's comments there. Thanks again for everybody's support. I really do feel the love out there, and I'm glad that I can be part of your day. Now, let's see what we can do about this 1000th game here. Yes, Lols im Salami. Lols im Salami, ladies and gentlemen. Rated 1721 out of North Macedonia. North Macedonia. As opposed to South Macedonia. We're developing, we're defending. trading off these queens, I think, maybe not. Let's see, take, in here. Because otherwise they take, I take, and then they take here, and I can't take back. So let's do this. Let's do this. They go back here. Oh, okay, so they're doing the same thing. Now I've got two attackers on this. Yikes, folks. Yikes. You know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way on day 1000. If that just sums up what this channel is all about, I don't know what does. Oof. Yeah. I mean, normally I would just break up these pawn chains with minority attack, but I really don't want to. Don't really want to trade off too many pieces, given my situation. But we'll see if they take. Nope. Is there a tactic here? Or I go here? Threatening this. I do this. I go here. Oh, no. Here threatens this. But it's pinned there, but then I push. Here, take. have to take this knight. But then they take here. And again, that's no bueno. But I can't be down. And I can take here. And then take. Okay. Let's see if that's possible here. They check him. Okay, never mind. Hey. I mean, it's day 1000. I can't just give up, but I think that's going to be pretty obvious where I made a mistake in this game. Tactics aside, I think I rushed it as well. Okay. Well, it's a little bit better. But they've got this pawn they're gonna get. is. Thank you for the game. Lols. Salami. Oh boy. Let's check out the review on this one. Played with 80% accuracy. My opponent played with 88%. I had 0 blunders, 0 misses, and 2 mistakes. I would argue that I did make a blunder. Maybe the difference in score on the eval bar wasn't great enough to call it a blunder, but that was definitely a blunder. But they played a perfect game, so Lozim Salami, good game to you. Yep, so good openings here. Excellent, yes, good. Good, best, and then here's that mistake. So it was a mistake because of this. Probably the better move would be to do this, which is the best move. And I made this move in 2 seconds, so that's probably what happened. Just rushed it. And then from there, yeah, they just didn't make any other mistakes. So this here was an inaccuracy. I wonder why it's not interface. Maybe that. Okay. King d6 was a better move. That comes in with the best move, good move, best move, good move, best move. Inaccuracy, best move, good move, yeah. And then from there, they just, they had the advantage, so. Never came back after the one mistake. Weird to say that I played as if I was a 2000 rated player, even with that mistake, though. There it is, folks. Day 1000 in the books. I'm currently 1671. Again, thanks for all the support and criticism and love and encouragement that I've received over the last 1000 days. It's been a privilege, and it's going to be exciting to see where we go from here. Until next time.